All right, well, I guess the prosecutors in the Zimmerman case are a bunch of idiots. I was really worried about that when they were even trying to get that Tom Owen guy, who's obviously an idiot and didn't understand statistics. That worried me that they wanted him um, to make it past the Fry hearing, because that doesn't mean he'd make it past the jury, and I think it'd be easy to show how unscientific his approach is and how little he understands things. So what do the prosecutors do who tried to get that guy in? They call another voice expert that points out how it's impossible to tell whose voice it is with technology. What? But worst of all, they had Singleton and Serino on, and I couldn't see all of the direct of Serino because it was silent on this channel I've been using to watch this stuff. But it was ridiculous. Most of the time, and all the part I did see, they're just playing Zimmerman's statement. They should be pausing that shit. They should be showing a little slice from here and say, look, and here's the other statement where it contradicts. They should have collaged all that together. And nobody seems to point out. I mean, Serino is there going, oh, there's nothing that Zimmerman said that was against, that went against the evidence. What about the body being way down there and he supposedly got hit at the teeth? Nobody's going to point that out. See, I didn't really think that Dee Dee was the star witness like people say. It's an important part because it's that moment that Trayvon and George started interacting. But Serino was potentially the star witness. I mean, he was very critical of many things, and evidently he's changed his mind, or he was totally pressured into suggesting charges or something, because he came out just praising Zimmerman. And I don't know what the prosecution was thinking, because it's fine that Serino's going to come down that way now that he's a patrolman. But why wasn't the prosecution leading him through the things he had said and the words he had said, and using him not just to watch, not just as a vehicle to show George Zimmerman in his own words saying his version of the story 3 or 4 times to the jury, but actually use Serino to go through that in a way that chops that up. Now maybe I'm missing something about the law, because I had, for example, one thing of like, why are they getting away with being so leading? Partly it's because the prosecutors are idiots, but the other part was I found out and was remembering, and they were saying in court, and it's like, oh yeah, you can be leading. It's not like on TV, you can't be leading, I guess, in cross-examination. So maybe there's something I don't know, but I can't see it. I mean, the defense is taking these things and chopping them up. Why would he just play 40 minutes of Zimmerman going on and Serino being friendly to him? Why wouldn't you stop that and say, what about this part? Why wouldn't you stop and take, Singleton's there? Why wouldn't you go to the part of Singleton? He said he was in the car when he called. He told you he was someone else where he called. Did he even stop there? What do you think? Chopping down all of these inconsistencies in George's story. And they didn't do any of that. They just let the defense get up there and have the cops say, oh, and I think George was being honest. Look, it's as far as I can see, it's over. Now maybe it's this 11-dimensional chess thing. I've never seen that work out too well. Maybe the closing statement wraps it up. Maybe with the forensic stuff. But even if they pull it out that way, it seems ridiculous to me, because this was the chance with the investigating officer who's supposed to be familiar with the evidence, who you can walk through complicated triangles of evidence and use him as a vehicle to make that understandable for the jury. So I guess the prosecution is just a bunch of idiots, like they seem to be when they were trying to bring in those voice experts. And, right now it doesn't look like Zimmerman's going to be found guilty, not with the last week. Not with the last, 4 days of testimony. I don't know, they seem like a bunch of idiots. I guess Serino's still on the stand maybe, but direct is over, so now it's redirect, and they just look like idiots. I don't see how there's any explanation of what they've done. See, I thought it was fine bringing out the John Good and stuff. Yeah, they're the prosecutors. They should have brought him out, and then they're supposed to say, well, he saw the end of the fight, and they're supposed to bring these people out and go, but this and but that and but the other, and oh, he was polite, but that's because of this, and oh, he could either be telling the truth or he's a pathological liar. Here's why he's a pathological liar. So, prosecutors are 90% stupid. So anyway, and it's the thing is, I want this to go through and I will accept the result. The Emmett Till case, justice was totally raped there, and yet you still can't double jeopardize the guilty party because after the trial he goes out and says, yeah, we did it actually, because that fucks up your justice system. I'm willing to accept a lot of injustice. That I thought in the 2000 election, the Florida Supreme Court, I thought that they ruled right and that they shouldn't have been overridden by the United States Supreme Court. But I was glad the system worked. It worked step by step. I'm ready to accept the results of this trial, but of course it's going to be frustrating if they don't even bring up the things that seem so material. Like the question, everybody is dealing with the question of, was he following Trayvon or not? Did he pursue him down there? And in Florida law, I don't even think it matters. This is not the stand your ground. This is regular self-defense law. And even if he followed Trayvon down there, if they got in a tussle, it's possible for that to be a self-defense issue. But he's saying he didn't go down there at all. That makes it look like he has a reason to lie about where he was, and the fact that there's a dead body and the cell phone and all the shit that's strewn way down there where the body was, and he was down there when the body was shot, that is an opening to make the jury realize that Zimmerman has no explanation for that, but he has a lie saying it never happened, and that's why you would not believe Zimmerman, leaving a lot of other testimony saying there was some sort of a quarrel. That's the doubt you need to put in the jury's mind, it seems to me, about Zimmerman's story. If Zimmerman's story was true, then I still think he probably shouldn't have killed the kid and didn't need to. He knew the cops were on the way, but I do think by Florida law that might be considered a justifiable homicide. Maybe their law's fucked up, maybe the way they look at it, whatever. I accept that. But I don't like the fact that they aren't making an issue of what I see as the main issue. Zimmerman was not sucker punched and brought down at the T. That's physically impossible from the evidence that's strewn out there, from all of the eyewitnesses, including John Good. And so, what are they trying to say? It's like they're just trying to put all the evidence in front of the jury, and the jury's supposed to see how it all makes sense. Just in 2 weeks, something they've studied for a year and a half, and they're supposed to put it on graph paper and go, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're not even trying. Meanwhile, the defense is up there every time they can. If this, rolling over words they want the jury to hear, showing witnesses pictures they don't need to just so the jury could see them again. Why are prosecutors so stupid? Ugh, that does not look good. Well, that's the way it goes.